Around this time of the year, when I was about 18 years old, I received a phone call. It was from my doctor, and it was in relation to waiting for my diagnosis of ankylosing spondylitis. I was 18 years of age, and it was just nearing Christmas, like it is now. At 17, I had a bout of Uveitis or Iritis, which, if you do not know, is a symptom of ankylosing spondylitis, and it is a serious inflammation of the eye that can affect your vision and sensitivity to light. I had a very severe version of Iritis, and I was in the Melbourne Eye and Ear Hospital for about 4 weeks. I would receive daily doses of a steroid directly into my eye via injection. Eventually, it cleared up. At that time, I was an apprentice toolmaker, or if you're in the United States, a machinist, and if you're in Australia, a fitter and a turner, or a fitter. A very dangerous job, considering it was the late 1970s. A lot of safety requirements were not fully implemented at that particular time. Due to the amounts of pain I was having and fatigue leading up to my diagnosis, I eventually left my apprenticeship as a fitter and turner. In retrospect, I do not regret it at all. I had come out of all of these tests and diagnoses with anti-inflammatories and 2 exercises. So when I put down the receiver, I imagined this long hallway. That was my life. And in that very long and dark hallway were doors. And as I walked down that hallway, I would open each door, which would represent stages in my life with my envisioned condition. My parents knew that I had to go to the doctor, but they didn't really understand. They were very, very self-absorbed with their own issues. And to be honest, I came from a pretty chaotic household where everybody was enclosed in their own turmoil. So asking for support from my parents, who really didn't understand or knew what it was or didn't want to know what it was, don't think about it and it'll go away, which was a common advice in those days. But anyway, I continued on in the best way that I could. Thinking about that particular time and thinking about that now, I am absolutely so astounded that I got through to this place that I am in now. The advice of don't think about it and it'll go away was actually how I thought. It was already imprinted in me from a long time. This video is about the way I felt when I was diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis. And as an 18-year-old, that's a lot to take on. If I just didn't think about it and it'll go away, I had the pain to remind me that that wasn't the case. I had 2 exercises, as I said, and I had anti-inflammatories. The anti-inflammatories didn't even take the edge off the pain. Now, keep in mind, this is 1978. There are no biologics. There is no T blockers, what we've got now. If I had the T blockers then, if I had the Humira or the Remside, I would have welcomed them. Anything to stop the progression or slow down the progression and stop the pain and stop the fatigue that I had at that time. So, what did I do then? Well, as I said, I had only myself to think about at that particular time. I didn't dwell upon my condition. I just went on with life, with the pain. I don't know whether it takes a particular type of person to be able to handle that, but 1978, Melbourne, Australia, that's just what we did. We just kept on going and ignored whatever was troubling us. I have a feeling that that particular attitude helped me to actually survive this, because I had quite severe ankylosing spondylitis. It went through me extremely quickly, and it wasn't until the age of about 49 that the condition burned itself out, and I was left with this completely fused spine that I have today. Don't get disheartened by hearing this story. Everybody has their own way of dealing with a health issue. It's very important to have professional advice and also the support of a loving family. And I can't emphasize the latter especially. I worked at a university as a lab assistant in an industrial design department. While I was there, I had full access to the university's library and especially the medical books. This enabled me to get a lot of information about this condition that a lot of people didn't even know about that existed. Even general practitioners, doctors, were a little bit in the dark about this. I was lucky. I had very good professionals from the moment I had this investigated. Not so for many other people I have heard having to go through the diagnosis rigmarole. If you have been diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis, AS, or axiospondyloarthritis, just look at all the information you can get. Find what works for you. Keep moving. You must keep moving. Even in the old textbooks that I read, movement was always advisable. Sitting, laying, not doing much is the worst thing you can possibly do. Look at YouTube videos, reputable YouTube videos. There is a lot of information that we have now. I had no information when I was 18 in 1978. No information whatsoever. This has been a very difficult video for me to make, and I'm probably going to make a couple more that are similar to this, but the whole idea of this channel is to be as positive and motivate people as much as possible. Anyway, I'll leave now. Be kind to yourself and also be kind to others.